Hello everybody, my name is Anthem. Welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 New Order. As now, the USSR, we're no longer the West Russian Revolutionary Front. We have conquered Omsk, declared ourselves once again the Union, and things I think are going pretty well. We have sent a handful of volunteers over to the far Eastern Soviet Republic as well. And I have high hopes. My cat is very loud in the background. I apologize for that. But we have our troops coming down here to, let's see if we can retake the capital. Because how long until you're actually killed? You capitulate at 28%. So you should have, I think, a little bit of time left to go. Give or take, hopefully. But the thing is, like, the rail line. Oh, there's a rail line here. Where's your next supply hub? Ulan-Ude? Maybe we want to actually... Okay, we're actually going to move you guys. Instead of being in the north, we're going to put you down in the south and move to Idris from the south. I think that makes more sense, just because we have the supply hub here instead of being in the north. And if you guys could please go a little faster, that'd be great. You're not the ones that have the helicopters, do you? Did I? Hey, no, you do have the helicopters. I have planned this fabulously, much better than you would otherwise expect. So yeah, I think things are going to go really well for us. I can't right now see a reality in which we lose. I mean, we might end up losing the Far East Republic. That's not an impossibility. But in terms of the overall objective here, overall unifying of Russia, I can't see us faltering. Like, we're just, I just feel like we're doing really, really well. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a little bit high on my own supply, but I feel like things are going pretty nicely. Okay, so we got our national focus done. Looking to history. And what do we want to do next? We cannot do the Soviet lineage. We can only do the American example. And aside from that, People Executive, People's Marshal. We have to wait until like 1971 in order to actually invade Central Siberia, which is not too long. Like, it's already August of '69. Like, we only have like a little bit more than a year. Political power was 50. I mean, we're at, right now, 1427. We do not need more political power. So, you know, yeah, let's go with the speech of the century. And these are all like 16-day focuses. They're all very, very, very quick, which I'm happy to see. Reflections. Grand Marshal Yuri Zhukov stood in his private study with a glass of vodka in his hands. In front of him was a large window that overlooked Archangelisk and the surrounding region. As he looked out, he noticed that much of the city had grown since the days of the Great Patriotic War and the inevitable loss to the Germans. USSR had broken down in the days following, with the anarchy spreading across the country. Warlords who took the place of the government, many of them not harboring the ideals of the Union. However, in these chaotic days, Zhukov tried to stay positive. He and his armies had survived and fled to the safety of the northern regions, hoping to one day reform and march into Moscow to free it from the dark hand of the Reich. Zhukov looked through the many books he had, one on warfare and literature, both classic and contemporary. The study was decorated not as lavishly as some of the citizens of the Union would have thought. However, it did have some of Zhukov's favorite hobbies. A fish tank located in the room, inside with a few of the discus fish. As Zhukov flipped the cover of the last book that he had, he walked back over to his desk, where he thought about the last conflict he fought against the Germans. Less than 20 years after they had been sent trudging back from Stalingrad to Moscow, the Reformed Red Army had begun an attack on Moscow, hoping to free the people who lived under the Iron Fist. They had made good progress at first. Zhukov had astonishingly come close to liberating the Reichskommissariat. However, the tide soon turned, and they had been pushed back. Since that day, when they had been pushed back, Zhukov still believed that they would finally win. Our time has come. Okay, so, again, Ryzov is very much in charge here. We don't need to worry about appealing to any of you. 15 days for all of our corps. I think things are going pretty well, and we're going to get membership to Armenia. Isn't that fantastic? Congratulations, Armenia, on joining our great Comintern. I don't think you'll get invaded, but I'm not going to say one way or the other without proper knowledge. So we're going to actually have you just attack right now, because I think that you're just better than most, like, Central Siberia. I just feel like we're better than you are, so, I mean, our hubris has gotten us in the past, but again, this is just like a small expeditionary force, basically. Like, I'm not too worried about them. Coup in Jamaica. We can take, again, we can take this city, we can capture the supply hub, and then push our way down the rail line. I mean, getting our way to Novosibirsk is going to take forever, coming from the east. But really, if we can simply just hold the Far East long enough so that we can invade in 1971, I will be feeling pretty good. Like, just them surviving is really all I care about. Is that the French Civil War? Hey, French Civil War. Not high on our priority list, unsurprisingly. We're going to keep one unit here back, just to make sure that we can actually hold this line. 3 units moving in. I want to know, one of you just stay here. Or not. You know what? You do whatever you want. I mean, I know it's because you're probably on the attack order, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, People's Marshal. GDP growth. The debt will go up by a little bit, but honestly, it's not too bad. Building slots are kind of ass. I don't care about that whatsoever. So you know what? Let's do the American example next. Again, they're all 16-day focuses, which is very, very nice. See if you can maybe counterattack into you. Take Irkutsk, unify all this land, and we'll be pretty happy. How many troops do you guys actually even have? Not that many, but you've gotten like straight up to the very top of the map, which is not where you should be at all. The speech of the century. Zhukov stood above the crowd looking down. He was amazed at the amount of people that had shown up for a simple patriotic speech that he had only planned to inspire a small population of people of the Union. However, as he saw very clearly, more people than had expected had shown up. Zhukov was pacing the room in his mind as he waved to the crowd. Then, he spoke to the thousands of people gathered there to listen to their leader. Today, we stand on guard. Our enemies tremble in the steps that they have seen as our rise to power. We successfully unified the West. Now, however, we must look towards the East. Our power is increasing. We will unify Russia for our children. Most importantly, however, will be our ongoing fight against the dogs in Moscow. Our home has been taken away from us for too long. We will return. After Zhukov finished, the crowd erupted into cheers. Soviet flags had been waved back and forth. He smiled and waved one last time before heading back inside. As he walked back towards the Presidium building, he hoped that the Union would truly live up to the standards he had talked about in his speech. However, as he thought, it would take a lot of time to see if this aspiration would come true. Onwards, towards Moscow. I mean, Moscow, again, that's a little future. You know, I don't think it's something we can really worry about right at this exact second. You know what? Screw it. Let's research that super heavy tank. Because what is our actual army composed of right now? It's basically infantry, a couple of motorized, a couple of elite infantry, a handful of tanks. Our army is not good in any capacity, I think, to actually fight the Germans. Right? Like, that is not going to happen at all. Like, how many... Do we have any idea how many troops Germany has? No. I mean, and they also have, you know, Ukraine, Ostland, the Caucasus, Hungary, Romania. Like, there's so many allies of Germany that just taking Muscovin, I think, is basically, like, an impossibility. But hey, we've taken Irkutsk, which is very, very, very nice. That was our main objective. And then your next objective will be to push at least back to the original borders here. But, I mean, is there like an encirclement we can get? Because the encirclement would be nice for us. Kill a handful of Siberian units as well. They just have like 4 divisions here, makes no sense. They have 7 divisions up here, which again, makes no sense. They should be down in the south. Okay, we have 1 unit moving back here. I mean, there's a small encirclement that we can maybe get. We push here and then push here. By the way, can I send you air units? Yes. So yeah, let's send over some aircrafts. Because again, I don't believe... No, don't attach air wings. Well, no, we do want to attach air wings. Yeah, send 200 planes here for support. Do we have anybody that's got like a super, super long range? I don't really think so, unfortunately. Oh, no, we have the, you guys. Okay. Let's fly you a little further back. How many planes? 67 enemy fighters. Which is a little annoying for us. You also do close air support while you're in the area. Fantastic. Have you come over here to counter? I don't know why I have to do all the work for you. I feel like you should be doing a little bit better. What's the name? Yagoda? Kind of just embarrassing, honestly. Jonathan Avery looked out his window at the Yadaka that he had lived in for the past decade and a half or so. He rubbed his eyes, hoping that he wouldn't fall asleep. The CIA officer had been stuck in Russia after the West Russian War, had come to a screeching halt. While he had some contact with Langley sometimes, these moments were rare. Jonathan always had something to do, however, whether it was training Russian soldiers or tending to his small garden outside. When the car pulled up to his house, he was surprised. Why would the government want to meet with him again? Out stepped members of the Union Intelligence Services. As they knocked on his door, Jonathan opened it. They said they wanted to talk. Jonathan's stomach dropped as they came in. While his Russian wasn't perfect, it was much better than some of the other agents he had been sent out with. As the two men explained to Jonathan the current state of affairs in the Union, his eyes grew when he heard the United States had recognized him. As they continued, they said that he would be brought to Archangelisk, where he would be loaded into a plane and flown home over to the States. He smiled, and tears began to well up in his eyes. He would finally be going home. The two intelligence officers shook his hand and told him to pack his bags, as they had come to pick him up. Jonathan rushed around the house, pulling everything that he had in Russia into a duffel bag that he had brought with him long ago. As they had driven to the airport, he looked out the window. He had begun to see many exports of American culture enter the Union, from people carrying little bottles of Coca-Cola to even a few Fords on the road. As he got into the airport, he shook hands with the intelligence officers once again. Jonathan boarded onto the plane, not before turning around and taking one last look at Russia before leaving for good. So long. Thanks for all the help. More political power. I mean, thanks, I guess. Is there anything I can spend this on? Appeasement just causes stability. Actually, no, I guess some points here to get some more stability, but we're already at 100%. So not really necessary. Can't do anything with you. And we've gotten our cores here now finished. Does that boost our GDP? Somewhat. It's so-so. Okay, so we're 87. I want to counter... I want to counter somewhere that we can actually get into circlements. Like, we can take this. I mean, it's going to let us kill one infantry. Which, I mean, is nice. I'm not going to say that it's not nice. Yeah, and he's already dead. But, not the greatest thing in the world. Let's just put it that way. Because I wanted to really get, like, the 2 divisions. Maybe even 3, but we'll take what we can get. We'll take what we can get. But again, I wanted to stick to the rail line. Pop all of the supply hubs, and the next one is going to be all the way in Kansk, which is pretty far away. You know, there's no lying about that. 200. They have 69 fighters in the area, which is a bit of a pain, but honestly, it's not too bad. Oh, you can see some free military factories as well. What do we need? Well, what are we actually down? We're down AA guns and helicopters. Well, anti-air is at 2. Sure, we'll throw that up to 4 factories for now. That seems fairly reasonable. Because I think all of our infantry at some point need AA guns. Why? I think that's just kind of how the divisions are built. Not like it's going to be like that important because there's not that much aircraft for the remaining Russian states. But, you know, if the game wants us to build it, we'll build it. Who am I to argue with progress here? Also, it seems like we can now... Let's allow the Arab People's Republic into the common turn. Okay, People's Executive. Follow that up with allow public meetings, delegate powers. GDP growth will increase by 1%. War support goes up by 10%. I mean, that's not bad. You're kind of garbage, but again, we have to take you. Delegate powers. Another meeting. Increase the political parties. Communism will now be called. Okay, we got new party names. Sure. You know what? Let's go down there. Let's rebrand the Communist Party. Because what are we right now? Is the ZRF, which I'm assuming is like the Communist Russian Front or something like that. And now we're going to be renamed as the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. The first meeting. Zhukov sat at the long table in the Presidium meeting room. As he awaited his 2 other deputies to arrive, he looked through his notes. Constant in them had been normal procedures. Items like what to talk about during the meeting. Ideas that they would bring up and how the meeting would go. He looked down at his watch, waiting for his hand to strike 11. At this time, both Yakovlev and Razkov should arrive at the meeting. As he twisted the pen in his fingers, both Yakovlev and Razkov entered the room. Both of the men had an aura of power around them to the aides that had also entered the room. Zhukov's secretary gave him a note saying that all expected members have arrived here. He looked around himself, noticing that some of the men began to talk to each other and discuss the contents of the meeting. He then began to speak. Gentlemen, comrades, it is an honor to be speaking to all of you in good health today. Today marks a great day for us in the Union. I have called all of you here to discuss the next chapter in our government. And I'm sure many of you know, the Residium is reformed. He motioned to his left and his right, with the members sitting on each side lining the table. We are meeting to discuss our government and our next course of action. We are on the verge of being very close to fully restoring the glory of our former government. Until then, however, we must plan for a glorious restoration and then the continuation of the Great Patriotic War. Like I said, though, we must get to work. Zhukov looked at Yakovlev and Ruskov before nodding. Gentlemen, shall we begin? I mean, if we kind of keep on pushing our way, again, to Kansk, hopefully that'll mean that Central Siberia will just simply not have any supplies. What are you doing? Requisition winter gear. Okay. I don't think I've ever in my life seen that, but happy to have it. That is declared their independence. How many tiles are we away from reaching the city? 3. Okay. Sending 1 infantry should not be too big of an issue. And again, like we just have the industrial capabilities, we have the manpower to just do whatever the hell we want. Central Siberia cannot contest us, like in any way, shape, or form. Okay, we have reinforcements coming in here, which is nice. Because when the reinforcements show up, that means that allows us to push, a little bit further. And again, we take Kansk. There should be significantly fewer supplies for all of Central Siberia, which will be lovely. Oh, I didn't even vote my own proposal. But it looks like we will allow the Arab People's Republic to join the Comintern. And then I guess the only thing after that is the non-aggression pact, which has been shot down before, but maybe, second time's a charm. Okay, push away towards Konst. And then once we've taken Konst, we can kind of envelop this in some capacity and shrink the front line down. You can counter with you. Delegating powers. Let us reform the VKP. Okay, hold you off for a second. I'm trying to see where we can go. Like we push you and then move our way to Bratsk. Another small encirclement, which I think will be nice. The new assignments. Ryzkov looked down at the letter that he had been sent and slammed it down onto his desk. Water transportation? For a man of his talents? He was furious. Ryzkov could not believe his eyes as he read what happened before him. After considerable advice, for who? From Yakovlev? What advice had he given to Presidium on him? Who could be being such a menace that they could change committee assignments? Was it the army? Could it have been Zhukov himself? Whatever the answer was, he was furious that it had occurred. Ryzkov read the letter one more time before balling it up and throwing it into the trash. Someone else's fucking job, thought Ryzkov as he tried... Okay, no. Someone else's fucking job, thought Ryzkov as he tried to get his mind off of it. Across the capital of the Union, Yakovlev had received a similar letter. Instead of water transportation, it was a committee of coal transportation. Unlike Ryzkov, however, he was more confused and angered. No conspiracies against him. Did he do something wrong? Did he accidentally anger the wrong person? Whatever it was, it distressed him a bit. Yakovlev had never done anything wrong. All of his work that he did was to the benefit of the Union in any way possible. The letter, however, made him feel disappointed in himself. Whatever it could have done that possibly had done to make the Presidium mad. Whatever it was, he couldn't let his mind wander too much on it. He frowned, feeling upset with himself. He had gotten so far, so close to being an actual politician for something important. Not a rump state located in Russia. Yakovlev went to bed trying to think of something better, hoping the next day would bring better news. Don't you love change? Okay, so we're going to push you out in just a moment. Again, we're going to go to Bratsk right afterwards, the brand new Charlie XCX album. And we will conquer it. Are you moving more units in? It does look like you are. Fantastic. And okay, so there we go. You have now joined us, which is great, which is basically every single member that we could possibly have. 67. Very, very weak motorized division. Somewhat weak infantry division as well. You're not a supply hub. But again, this is going to hopefully allow us to... Oh, you didn't break through. Unfortunate. But allow us to get another encirclement. And just killing any Central Siberian troops is going to make our war in, a little bit more than a year so much easier to actually do, right? If it lasts long enough that they're still fighting a two-front war, then I'll be very, very happy. Okay, so we're going to have you hold back for a second. When will you actually arrive in the city? You'll be there in 2 days, 10 hours. I don't think anyone else is coming in here to reinforce this, though. So again, that encirclement should apply very, very soon. Excellent. And then I want to delete this line and start moving in. Just kind of cleaning this stuff up. Again, when this is cleaned up, all of these Far Eastern troops can be redeployed to anywhere else because it'll be more important. And again, they come towards the front. That allows us to keep on pushing further and further and further. Is there literally any focuses for us to take? I generally don't think so. And you want us to build infantry, support equipment, and artillery. But again, we have so much of that just in storage that I'm not super, super worried about it. Okay, we founded the VKBP. 15% war support. I mean, that's nice. I'm not going to say that it's bad, but probably not necessary immediately. And they're going to try to push their way out. That obviously is not going to work. We go pushing like this and then around. Again, just trying to get this encirclement going. I don't know what our allies are doing. They're just kind of chilling. That's fine. If they don't want to do anything productive, I can't really force them to. Are they trying to move into this region? You guys are. So let's see if we can try to push this way instead. Research slot. It is almost 1970, so we've taken you. We'll go with low noise amplifications. We get ourselves the reduced air accident chance, which I think will be nice for us. We're at 32%. I mean, they do have high defense. And we're no longer actually fighting in our territories. Yeah, let's move our bombers one tile further. That should end up reducing their strength. I want these guys out of here. I want them gone. I want them dead. I want them dead. But I will say, what else I want, to end this episode right here. So if you enjoyed my thumbs up, then not enjoy, you can always thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.